Greetings, it's Miss Felix, the librarian, and today I want to share a story with you entitled Miss Tizzy. Miss Tizzy is written by Libba Moore Gray and illustrations by Jada Rowland. I love this story. It has some really cool activities that you can possibly do after you hear the story. So let's get to it. Miss Tizzy. Now, Miss Tizzy is nothing like the rest of her neighbors. Can you spot Miss Tizzy's house? Miss Tizzy always wore a purple hat with a white flower in it and high-top green tennis shoes. The neighbors thought her peculiar, but the children loved her. Miss Tizzy's house was pink and sat like a fat blossom in the middle of a street with white houses and white fences and very neat flower gardens. Miss Tizzy had no fence at all, but she had flowers that grew everywhere and spilled all over the sidewalk. Miss Tizzy let the children pick the flowers. Then she gave them clean glass jelly jars to put them in, and the children loved it. Miss Tizzy's big yellow cat, Hiram, slept in a window box in the middle of some red geraniums. Sometimes he climbed on a shoulder and hung there like a tired old fur piece. Check him out. On Mondays, Miss Tizzy baked cookies, and she let the neighborhood children put in the raisins and then lick the bowl while the cookies were baking. The children loved it. On Tuesdays, Miss Tizzy made puppets out of old socks. She made a puppet for each boy and girl. Then they made up stories and put on puppet shows for Miss Tizzy. She laughed and clapped every time. And the children, yeah, they loved it. On Wednesdays, Miss Tizzy played her bagpipes. She gave the children spoons and pans and let them pretend they were playing real drums. Each Wednesday, one child got to be special and play a silver penny whistle. Every child got a turn. They marched up and down the street with Miss Tizzy and her bagpipes leading the parade. Hiram sometimes marched along. And the children, yeah, they loved it. On Thursdays, Miss Tizzy gave the children clean white paper and crayons. They drew pictures of sunshine and butterflies. They put them in Miss Tizzy's red wagon and delivered them all over town to the people who had stopped smiling and had grown too tired to come out of their houses anymore. Hiram rode in the front of the wagon with a red ribbon around his neck. And the children, they loved it. On Fridays, Miss Tizzy opened up her trunk and they all played dress up. There were hats with feathers, hats with bows. There were baseball caps and straw hats with bright red bands. Everyone wore a hat. Miss Tizzy put on her lace shawl and served pink lemonade in her best china cups. The children, they loved it. On Saturdays, Miss Tizzy put roller skates on her green tennis shoes and went up and down the sidewalks. The children came out of their white houses and joined her. They made a roller skate train holding onto Miss Tizzy's long skirt. Hiram was usually the caboose, The children made train sounds, and Miss Tizzy was the engineer. She never scolded the children for being too loud. And the children, they loved it. On Sundays, when the day was over, they stretched out on bright quilts in Miss Tizzy's backyard and looked up at the stars. The tree frogs croaked their summer sounds as Miss Tizzy sung about the moon, slightly off key. The children didn't care. They loved it. One day, Miss Tizzy took off her purple hat with the white flower and laid it on the window seat. Then she took off her high-top green tennis shoes and placed them under her high white bed. Miss Tizzy laid down on her feather mattress. She was very sick. Hiram left his window box and curled up at her feet. He did not purr anymore. The doctor came and went. He shook his head and looked very serious. The children were sad. They didn't know what to do. They missed their grown-up friend. Finally, they had an idea. On Monday, they baked cookies with raisins and brought them to the pink house. On Tuesday, they stood in the yard and held up puppets to the window. They put on a puppet show for Miss Tizzy. On Wednesday, they brought pans and spoons and played a soft little drumming sound just outside the door. On Thursday, they drew pictures with orange and red crayons and put them in Miss Tizzy's box. On Friday, they put on funny hats and left the tray of tea at the front door. They left Hiram a bowl of milk. On Saturday, they put a brand new pair of skates in a big box with a purple ribbon on top and took them to Miss Tizzy. On Sunday, when the sun went away, the children stood underneath Miss Tizzy's window. They sang all the moon songs she had taught them. Miss Tizzy's head glowed in the moonlight. She was having a peaceful dream. She heard the children singing, and she loved it. Miss Tizzy's story is one of my favorites. I love how she had a relationship with the children and taught them a lot of things. Boys and girls, when you say, I'm bored, there's some things that you can possibly do. Why don't you take some time out to make some cookies, write some letters, make some music, or just do a parade, have some fun while social distancing